to take a picture and just use that.
Yes.
That should have
And we're live on YouTube, so let's get this show.
Kayfabe was a way to show respect to the audience and respect your own business. It was a way to pretend.
Ladies and gentlemen, heels and faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks, I am Mr. Richie Moon.
And I'm Kayfabe AJ.
And I'm Kayfabe Focus.
And I'm Kayfabe Queen Millie Bells.
And this is a Kayfabe Out Livecast.
The podcast?
Or the
We're
podcast.
over that.
Are we over that? You know what?
It's Kayfabe Avenue.
Yes, sir.
And we have a championship discussion
Going on
today.
Ooh.
So we're not just showing the titles, we're wearing them today.
Yeah, that's how you feel?
Yeah.
That's how you feel?
Until I get the belt from the company we're about to talk about, these are the belts I'm going to have to settle for. But this is a championship discussion. A lot going on.
Feeling it.
A lot.
Feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Should I keep being vague or
Feeling
should
it.
we just say what we're
Vague?
going to...
I am coming. Woo! Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about the Double or Nothing rally. It is on. It's official. Double, hey, that shot. Just came out of nowhere. Wow. I was super kidding. Just kidding. Super kidding.
Right?
Oh, just like that. So yeah, we're about the Double or Nothing rally. I mean, all of us excited. We was all marking out. I know I was. I'm not gonna speak for everybody. I know I was.
Definitely.
I was really excited.
I stopped playing Resident Evil real quick just to get on.
You stopped playing Resident Evil.
I stopped.
Big choices. Is it Leon or is it Claire?
So,
You know, I made my choice. I chose Leon because you know you gotta go Leon A, Claire A, then Claire B, Leon A.
In this decision,
no idea what
Claire was the WWE and Leon Kennedy was all elite wrestling.
Yeah.
Right? Don't you
So,
think?
how did you
It's a great
guys?
analogy.
How did you guys feel about it? So start with just general. How did you feel watching it? How did you feel about it?
Coming out of this, me being a little skeptical and me being, the critic I can be at sometimes, finally, I was all in on All Elite because they filled up their roster a little bit more. On top of the people already discussed, on top of the promotions that they're already doing partnerships with,
Mm-hmm.
they announced more partnerships. They announced more people. They announced the man himself, the Executive Vice President, Kenny Omega.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
I was finally all in. Not only that, Chris Jericho, the whole Alpha versus Omega 2's happening.
0.5.
You got the Lucha Bros.
The Lucha,
Come on.
listen, with
I-
a mean college rival.
I love the fact that they are highlighting the tag team divisions now. Like,
Yes.
that's what we need more of. And then knowing the fact that they just signed the Lucha Bros, Pentagon Jr., and Phoenix, this is going to be
This is
amazing.
gonna be a great year for wrestling because
Yeah.
AEW.
I was really interested. I mean, we kind of knew that the Lucha Brothers were there. We kind of all thought that Kenny Omega. We were pretty
granted,
sure.
a couple of people were announced earlier
Yeah,
throughout the week, but
yeah.
just to actually see it materialize on screen, it was like, okay.
I wish Jimmy Havoc. I wish Jimmy Havoc was there because I don't know if a lot of people just
Jimmy?
recognize the face.
Fucking
Jimmy Havoc is, man. Listen, it's
such a sweetheart, by the way. I had
Man.
the honor of meeting him at Progress Wrestling.
death match, ladies and gentlemen. Death matches. Okay?
Hardcore.
Hardcore.
The hardcore
Stars
king.
on his back.
Yeah.
I'm saying that right now. He is the hardcore king.
So,
Ooh.
Anybody wants to debate me on that? We could
At you?
debate.
You want them to at you on that?
Like, we
right,
could.
hang on a sec. I
You don't want to start a storm on the line.
Well,
Next
I
thing
was
you
gonna
know,
say
you
it
don't
might
have
be
a lot
good.
of
There
people.
might
I
be a good
think
argument
if
for
you
Sammy
watch
Callahan.
his hardcore
But-
matches,
Might be an argument for Sammy
you're
Callahan.
out of your seat pretty much. When I got to see that live, like a hardcore match live, like front row, to witness that, even though of course I'm a fan, we always look for like
Do you
the
think
mistakes and everything
AEW
like
will
that.
ever give us a hardcore title?
Yes,
It's possible.
I think that's
would-
something in wrestling that's
we
like
need.
missing. Like we don't need the blood and guts spilled every fucking night, but just like the feel of the hardcore title, anything could happen at any point. Like they don't have to
defend it
they
anywhere.
don't have to do the gimmick of WWE, but just to bring back a hardcore title, WCW had
I
one.
thought that was a great
ECW was just known for hardcore period. WWF had one. A lot of promotions have. Will we get one for AEW? Like
Maybe. So
I
how
hope so.
do you think this will first off, they signed. Well, and I'm glad they did this. They didn't even make a big deal out of it. The first signing Sonny was, he's a black male, openly
Sonny
LGBTQ,
Kiss.
and they also signed. I forgot, excuse me, I apologize. I don't remember her name. I have to down, but a transvestite. A transvestite. I don't want to offend anybody. But, that's the name for a transvestite, and I'm glad they didn't make a.
Well,
big,
it's
I'm
a
glad
part
they
of
didn't
the
make a big deal out of
T
it.
in the LGBTQ, so I don't think they should get offended.
everybody-
We're, just acknowledging what the facts is. They
Fuck.
are all inclusive, and that was actually one of the things that I have a top 13 things coming out of
Yes, sir.
the AEW rally. Check that video out. But
Very
that was one of the
professional.
things that I kind of highlighted that they gave us right from the jump. The first rally that came out, they told us that they don't care what gender, what sex, or
preference,
preference,
anything like that.
Religion.
we
Any of
don't
that.
care. We want
It's
the
about
best,
being elite.
and that was
About being
the
elite.
easiest and biggest way to do it. Just the next rally, bring on the stars that are gonna highlight that corner of AEW.
Talking about tag team, we also got the best friends.
Yes.
Best
Which
friends.
was
Came out-
a little
came out-
awkward. It came out a little awkward to me.
Because they came out cosplaying as Scott Hall
Yeah.
when he did I guess the WCW invasion, like that first night he came out
No
there.
wonder. But why would they
Yeah.
both be Scott?
They're best friends.
They're best friends. That's what they
You
do.
gotta have Nash. Somebody gotta be Nash.
Yeah.
Who's the Kevin Nash to their Scott?
Nobody wanted to be.
Nobody wanted
Triple
to be
H.
Dash.
Nobody wanted to be Nash.
Nash. It's the
Nobody
weak ass
said
knees, man. It's the
Exactly.
knees.
And Terry Quad. Exactly. The Terry Quad is
The
what
knees,
the
man.
cosplaying that. So, it'll be like that. So, how do you think AEW, which I just want to remind people, a lot of people say a lot of things about AEW. I just want to remind you, AEW is only about a month and like a week old. How do you think this? How does this affect? Because people just have such a strong opinion about it, and AEW is this and this and this and that. I just want to remind you, not one show yet, month and a half old, second announcement, but it's already affected the wrestling landscape so much, as far as fans and for the talent. There's not almost a better time to be a talent now. How does AEW impact Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling?
How does it impact them? Well, it's impact them in the way that Ring of Honor is now signing exclusivity contracts, and New Japan as well as Ring of Honor are kind of giving their partnership an exclusivity in a way. Like they're kind of just dealing with each other right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to lock down talent, and just like WWE is doing. So
Yeah, I've never seen.
it has everybody in a race to sign.
It's basically like the wrestling version of Game of Thrones. You got all these houses gaining alliance with each other.
Harry
For the
Potter.
throne of wrestling,
Of
of the
To
wrestling
be
world.
the best wrestling company.
I think this much as things change, they stay the same. This is just like the old days. This is the territories. This is the territories all over again. It's just now that we have the internet, we can see it. Like,
It's the international
but
territory.
before you couldn't see it.
It's
You
different,
didn't know that
though.
Ric
It's-
Flair was the champion of Tennessee. We went to Virginia, completely new person. You know what I'm saying?
But
now we get to see the people.
I think you know what it
Comparison.
is. With Ring of Honor and New Japan, I think they're more supportive with AEW. I honestly think, because if you think about it, like, we're all hearing all this sweat of Vince, extending all his superstars' contract for longer so to make sure they're not leaving at all. Like, the only one that we hear about that's like sweating to lose his talent is WWE. We don't hear that much from Ring of Honor and everything. And knowing the fact that Ring of Honor
Well,
and New
that's because Ring
Japan,
of Honor is used to losing their talent on a yearly basis.
Yeah.
So
but
they're
not even
used
that.
to redoing
Right
their
now,
roster.
their focus right now is more partnership with New Japan. Plus, we got the G1 Supercard coming right around the corner. And they're going to be headlining at Madison Square Garden during WrestleMania weekend.
I think they
So that's
need to,
more what they're like, you know what, we're supporting you and everything, but we're focusing on
what they need
our
to do.
brand right now.
Should.
Which is true, which is, I respect that. I respect that.
That's kind of where I'm leading to. But what they need to do is kind of open their companies to the market, get more shareholders in so they can invest more money into these brands. So you don't go under or fall to the wayside like a regular indie. We went to House of Glory yesterday. I'm sorry to make them an example, but they showed the worst of what indie promotion can do last night. Broken turnbuckles and ropes and
That was
intermissions. It happens, but that's a big thing on ring crew, production, and all that. All of that should have been in check before the gates even opened. Facts. The ring was flimsy before the match even started. Now,
the first
that
match
has to do with a lot of money.
Before you guys came, like the first match, literally the top rope just broke, and it was like you could see the hesitation in the talent that was wrestling during that situation happening. It was like,
fans,
how are we supposed to?
The fans were chanting, "Please, it's not safe."
Yeah, like
don't
the
go
fans
on the
were just
ropes.
like, wait, I don't think.
The ropes aren't dangerous.
And knowing the fact that they were live too,
I think
they were live.
Ring of Honor needs to
were.
probably try to open itself to the stock market if they can, to bring in shareholders, bring in investors, and put money into the business. Or they need to seek outside wealth that will be invested. Will be happy to invest.
They're already owned by missing characters.
And we always go back to that topic. But what has Sinclair done for Ring of Honor? Their stations don't even cross the entire United States.
But
They're not in every They're not in every cable market.
They just own it though. It's not that.
Right.
What has it been doing?
So they're not funding Ring of Honor in a way that's essential to their growth.
But nobody's gonna buy Ring of Honor from them.
It's not. You misunderstanding what I'm saying as far as buying.
I understand.
It's not selling Ring of Honor.
I mean, they're not.
It's getting people to invest into the company. WWE, before they became the juggernaut they were a private-based organization. Vince started getting this flood of money once they started getting in the ratings, and Rock doing Hollywood and getting more shine through there. The SNLs, they were branching off into football, halftime shows, and doing a whole bunch of stuff. They were getting all around. Once Vince opened his company and invested his stocks into the company, and eventually over time got their return.
Ring of Honor and quite a nice little secret. WWE hasn't sold out MSG in years.
So I just looked it up.
Years.
Again,
TV deals. You see these talents already looking to go. Already brought so much popularity and eyes to the wrestling business, and they're only a month and a half old. To be honest with you, I'm pretty sure at the time, but we were only a month and a half, so they making everybody step their game up, and they haven't even put on one show yet, because All In was a Ring of Honor, New Japan, Impact, you know what I'm saying, and that was a big collaboration. That was an indie show. Double or Nothing is the first all elite show. This company that's only been up for a month and a half is making everybody step their game up.
They need to start looking for more people than what they showed though.
I feel like
I want to know who's the guy who spoke to the guy from Madison Square Garden, because that person needs to get their handshake, and they need to be applauded in the wrestling.
Well, there were a
community.
lot of different things going on because remember the WWE's always at the Barclays. They starved.
Yeah, but
they starved
you're
MSG.
talking about.
They starved MSG. So a lot of things happened.
But
MSG,
it was also construction on their part,
yeah.
which led into the
And
deal with
MSG is
Barclays.
really expensive. MSG is expensive to run up.
They renovated, so it wasn't the same for them. But whoever got them to actually say, yeah, okay, because they were still doing live events there, to go, yeah, okay,
Once in a while.
against Vince's,
Once in a while.
against our relationship with Vince, which is probably 30-something years old, 40-something years old at this point, even probably
WCW
longer.
WCW couldn't even get an MSG.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm
Somebody
saying.
finally knocked down that
It's
door.
a big deal for Ring of Honor
Exactly.
and New Japan.
It was
Somebody
good.
finally knocked down that door. That means that more venue owners will probably start being open to holding these shows. That's why we
with
need
Ring
more
of
investors
Honor-
in Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor New Japan always does at the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Exactly.
And if you've
You-
ever
you-
been
you're-
there, it's that small.
But they didn't.
What is it? Probably like 2,000 tops?
They might not have
Less?
the crowd to sell out. MSG is not a small venue. They might have the crowd to sell it out.
There's
You know
still
what I'm saying?
tickets
From
being
before.
sold for G1 Supercard.
But it's
See,
resells. It's
New
they're being
Japan is in
resold.
the opposite problem. They're just starting to invest in the American product and bringing their products to America. They have the money. Ring of Honor's not there. And if they're owned by $1 million corporation or whatever it is, they're not investing their money there. Their focus is on cable television
Yeah.
somewhere else. They're not saying, they're not looking at the promotion and saying, hey, look, this is the heartbeat of wrestling. Literally, 90% of their stars have gone to Impact, WWE, or New Japan and became bigger. So this is the heartbeat of wrestling. Why don't we tap into that, get people to invest, and you can do what AEW's been doing.
That's the thing. That's so glad you said that. It seems like this month and a half old company that we've known about. In a month and a half, they have already done the things that's just like Ring of Honor. Why haven't you done this already? New Japan. I mean, I understand New Japan because they've done it in New Japan, but it's like, why haven't you done this already? Like, and they set everybody on high alert so much. But off of that, not off of that, but question for everybody: who is your? You can pick 5 wrestlers from any company, any from wrestling that you would like to see in AEW.
Dean Ambrose.
Jordan Grace.
Marty Scurll.
That's eminent.
Yeah,
that's just win. That's just win.
That's not even worth counting.
I think that's like
he's
another.
elite already.
I think he's gonna be like another year.
I think Jay Lethal. What else does Jay Lethal have to get to Ring of Honor at this point? If they're not gonna do what I'm saying and they try to
Remember, this is fantasy booking. This is anybody from anywhere.
I think Jay Lethal needs to go just to have some new ground to cover in his career. If he doesn't want to do the WWE jump,
Bobby Lashley.
Really?
Nah, I think Bobby.
I would love to
Bobby
see.
Lashley, because how come he's not facing Brock Lesnar yet?
Facts.
True.
I fantasy book real fantasy book. My
because
fantasy
Brock
booking
Lesnar's opponents are predetermined at the contract signing.
my fantasy.
That's what
booking
it seems like.
Was Bobby Lashley immediately coming in? They building him up for weeks. Hype comes in straight up. Paul Heyman's in the middle of the ring, kind of one of those regular promos. Bobby Lashley comes out, just straight punch Brock Lesnar in the face. Championship match made right then and there. That's it. What does he have? He don't need to talk about nothing. Come out there, punch Brock Lesnar in the face, because you've been hyping him for weeks with the MMA promos and all this. Like WWE never touched that, and All Elite would definitely do that. There's a lot of people from MMA that are actually talking about making a jump to wrestling.
I'll also throw there the Good Brothers.
That I would love to see the Usos.
Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows.
I want to see Sasha Banks.
Knowing the fact that they're building up.
Sasha
mostly,
seems like she's imminent to leaving too.
She left.
Regardless of this tag team title situation about to happen for her.
She left a comment
Yeah,
under
you saw.
Marvel.
You
Before I
seen
leave.
that comment.
Before I
He was like,
leave.
before I leave, you have to announce one of my matches.
Because
So
they want
it's like,
that creativity. That's why Dean Ambrose.
I also think it's
creativity.
And I also think it's a little business negotiation tactics.
Yeah, because you can.
Let me put this on social
you
media.
can bargain,
That
yeah.
is gonna cause an uproar. WWE's gonna hear it. They either gonna fire me and lose me to the competition, or they're gonna finally use me in a way that I'm good with, and we're gonna make good money together.
Hopefully, well, that's what the rumors of Randy Orton or being talking. It's just bargaining.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, up my contract. I unfortunately
I think
feel
Joe-
like
Small Joe.
AEW does need that one more person. I really want.
Shane
I
Strickland.
want Goldberg.
At this
I
point,
want
I don't
Goldberg
really
to
want to
sign
name
AEW.
too many indie wrestlers because I feel like they're eventually gonna make it there,
That's
or
what
they're
I'm
gonna
saying.
have a partnership down the line.
That's what I want Goldberg to be signed to AEW. Not because
I heard rumors
I don't
of
really
Goldberg
want.
probably going.
I don't want to see Goldberg wrestle, no offense, but I want people who just know Goldberg from the 90s. Like, oh, Goldberg's there?
What about
Then you see him there, then you
probably
watch
someone
everybody
you
else.
guys don't even probably think of right now? Batista, AEW.
ooh.
He's been wanting to come back to wrestling.
Maybe like 2 years ago. Because he said he's like really down like once I hit 50, like.
But he's a person that doesn't need so much
It
building.
would
and
be
so
awesome.
Yeah.
Listen, it'd be awesome.
I was actually hoping when they did that reunion, Batista was like,
that's what things were
Triple
going-
H.
That's what I
No,
was
that's
Triple
what
H
things-
never beat me, and I'm like,
That's where things were going, but Triple H got injured.
Triple H
at,
is cleared though. He's injured. So
at Crown Jewel, so it might
it
still
might
happen.
still happen. It might still happen. There hasn't been anything in the room. On the room
Nothing
bill,
has been
nothing's
said
been.
about
I don't
it.
understand why.
Well, let's think about it.
Why would you not
April,
want to use Drax?
March.
I would
Avengers,
say,
$1 billion movie. Why would you not want to use? Why would you not?
knowing-
Not only that, a month before the next Avengers comes out.
WWE's they're stick. You hear them on announcers. Oh, hashtag this, da da da. Why would you not want to be hashtag Avenge? Like,
Hashtag
knowing
WWE
the
Avengers.
fact, I would throw it out there, Shinsuke Nakamura.
I would love to see
Shinsuke Nakamura. Knowing the fact that they're partnering up with OEW
They'll have all the good
and all
storylines
these other indie wrestlers
that we
from
want to see.
Japan and everything like that. I think we definitely need Shinsuke Nakamura and
I think.
Ivelisse.
Yo,
Woo!
that would be dope. That would be dope.
Jesus.
I would love to see Andrade.
I want
seeing
some
Omos
cake.
go over there.
Hero Hogan,
Because Andrade was not happy in WWE for a while.
What about
He was
Hero
not happy in
Hogan?
WWE for a while.
Tessa Blanchard.
Okay, this is gonna
Chelsea Green.
hold on. This is gonna lead to my next one. So,
The
so
hotness.
I said, how does this affect other companies? How do you think AEW can benefit? How these other companies can benefit from AEW?
Well, it was bringing them awareness. That's for one. Two,
getting new talent.
there's even rumors of WWE transitioning back to a TV-14, which we've been clamoring for fucking years.
I
Yeah.
think
don't
WWE
need-
needs that. I really
It
don't need
does.
that.
It does. Because
I don't need it.
they're the people that they invested in for the past couple years, they're adults now. The fans before them, they're grandparents now. You understand? People are more in this reality-based era, and the youngins, bro, the 4 or 5-year-olds know how to work a tablet and an iPad quicker than the people from the Attitude Era generation.
Sure.
A 4-year-old. So you're
Sure.
telling me
This
a 8, 9, 10-year-old can sing a whole Nicki Minaj verse or see all this love in hip hop and then look at WWE and be like, this is cheesy.
I
And
see
then
what
on
you're
top of
saying.
This is
I-
not
and on top
realistic.
of that, how many live events have we gone
Let's be real, this is the
that
era.
literally the holy shit chants, like you fucked up chants.
Yeah.
Come on now, like it's not it's not blurted out.
I don't feel like it needs to go back to
This is the bad
PG-13.
baddie era. This
I
15-year-olds.
feel like it just need to tell better stories.
This
15-year-old
Steph trying to be
Stephanie
old as
Lynn
fuck.
said that she wants WWE to be like the kind of like what do they see WWE in the future? She's like Disney. And Disney tells stories. They have heels, they have faces, they have heel turns. They tell complete stories and jokes for kids and adults. Why can WWE not do that?
I was watching Guardians
we
yesterday,
don't,
right?
we don't need.
Rocket
We need
Raccoon,
pup-
which
we
is
need
like
puppies of blood.
the mascot of the Avengers right now. The mascot, one of the mascots of Disney, he was just killing people left and right for fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't until they said, no, they're computer animated, they're virtual attack ships, that he thought he was killing people.
Wow.
So that's how easy it was for them to flip a horrific situation and gear it towards a younger crowd. They can do it. But we don't need TV-14 for Brian Panthers matches. We just need it so these people can have freedom. If I want to have a promo and be like, stop acting like a bitch, Brock, and show up to Raw,
Yeah, you
I
got
would love it.
You got superstars that are coming out. Like literally, like just slip up even though they're not supposed to, but it's in the moment. It's
I'm
their
sorry,
character.
but
They're building on their character, and that's what WWE needs to do.
If
Give
I was a
control
WWE wrestler-
to the superstars to take
I
control
agree.
of their character.
If I was
This
a
is
WWE
why they're
wrestler-
losing their talent, like Dean Ambrose. He specifically said, "You're not giving me character control. How you're giving me this heel character, but I can't be this heel person that I know I can be. I have to like shield myself from actually doing what I want to do. Like seriously, come on, this is what we need."
But also, it's people that are complacent and people that are too scared to step out the box. What happened to the people back in the days, like example, like a Jordan in NBA? Oh, you don't want me wearing these sneakers? I'll take that fine. I'll take that fine.
All right.
Why not get in trouble for the sake of the business? Put yourself out there.
I'll
Now is the time to do it.
I'll play
They-
double.
Because
I'll-
Vince is not gonna be like, you're fired. You're
How
fired.
much-
you're
how
fired."
much-
No,
all right, put
he's
it
gonna
this
be
way.
like, you know what? I'm pissed at you.
Put it
We're gonna
this
put
way.
you in a different
How
position.
much talk did that video of Brock Lesnar throwing the belt at Vince McMahon got? How much heat? How much?
And what was the
tweet,
first thing on Vince mouth?
Like
Asshole.
Literally, off of that one little skit, and knowing the fact that they
I
put
googled it
that
instantly.
during, like after the Royal Rumble, how much heat was talked? Nobody was talking about Royal Rumble. Everybody was talking about Brock Lesnar and that moment. Like literally,
I
like, what
googled
the
it.
heck?
I said I googled why did Brock Lesnar throw the belt. There's no answer out there. No real answer out there. They're saying
And
that
everybody wants to
supposedly he
know,
was
like,
pissed
what
off.
is that heat between y'all two? Like, what's going? Like, we want to know the story
Brock
behind
probably
that.
didn't want to go. I think Brock didn't want to go.
Well, I did
I
watch.
really-
I no. I did watch back that match, and I remember the story surrounding it. So Brock and Roman wanted to bleed clean, and Vince was like clean, like largely against any blood at all. Brock cut him anyways, and Roman was leaking that whole end of that match. So the color was added because they wanted to give Roman the Stone Cold moment.
I have a hard time believing that the way they structured that match. Because if they wanted to give him that Stone Cold moment, Brock Lesnar has a ton of submissions.
He was getting his ass whooped and not giving up.
That wasn't a Stone Cold moment.
That was.
Bret Hart.
Stone Cold
Bret Hart
was-
versus Stone Cold was a fight. Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of Roman Reigns.
But that's
and then made
It
him
was
bleed.
still a fight,
that's
though.
always
But-
what he does.
But Brock and Bret didn't do that. Brock,
if you think
Brock and
about
Stone
it,
Cold didn't do that.
if you go
Because you're
back
talking
like
about
now,
you're talking about Bret Hart, who is trained to look good and make his opponent look good, and Stone Cold, who is who was a giver and taker.
Brock can do that. Brock can do that when he wants to. Brock can make a person look good.
To people
made
that he
Finn-
handpicks.
He made Finn Balor
To
look
people
good.
that he handpicks. He
Yeah, he
handpicked
made-
Daniel and he handpicked
He
Finn.
wouldn't have been.
Let's look at these Roman
He
and
wouldn't have been in
Paul
that. He wouldn't have been
matches.
in that program for Roman that long if he didn't like Roman.
I don't know.
He didn't like
It's
Dean
just-
Ambrose. We seen that match. He didn't like Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
He didn't give him shit. But
That was
anyway,
a horrible
something,
match. And that was
you
at
know?
Mania. That was
there's a lot of
horrible.
rumors about Brock Lesnar maybe going to AEW. Don't.
What?
There's
Listen.
people-
no.
They can have him.
money.
Take it.
I love.
You know what?
I love a
Their
concept.
handling of Brock Lesnar will show me everything I need to know for the next 5 to 10 years of AEW. If you can make Brock actually fucking work, then I have every faith in how you handle everybody else.
It was rumors, but I love Tony Khan. Yeah, there's a lot of talented people out there, but we're not going to sign everybody. We need to sign everybody. I love that because they don't. We don't know everybody that leaves WWE.
They just
we
built
need
a
that.
full roster of people, and let's be
Not
real.
even done
The
yet.
only WWE people are Y2J, Cody,
There's some backstage
and
stuff. Back people in backstage.
no, yeah, but they're not going to be put in the forefront. They're
And
producers and
Baker.
writers.
It doesn't even matter for. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter.
But on the active roster to be wrestling, there's 3 past WWE stars: Pac, Y2J, and Cody.
The reason why fight doesn't matter because if you look at WWE's roster, that's just a bunch of
But
old
the
Ring of Honor
funny
guys.
thing is,
Basically.
the funny
Or New
thing
Japan.
is their first
Or Impact.
like their first pay-per-view event is in May, and we are now just seeing the rosters. We don't even have the full card yet.
And it's
The
probably
only
sold out.
one, the only 2, no, the only 3, no, 4 actually. We have 4
Alpha
matches.
Omega 2,
Yeah.
Hangman Page, Pac,
Pac,
Lucha Bros, Bucks. We have
SCU.
that chick.
I see you.
What's
SCU.
Kylie,
Nyla
Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose,
versus the other
Kylie.
Kylie Ray, and then we have
There's probably gonna be another women's match.
there was
Nothing
one
been made
more.
official,
There was
but-
one more match.
It was SCU versus
SCU versus
what's
his name?
OEW.
yeah OEW.
Yeah,
So-
like
No,
that.
OWE.
But like the main
Oriental
main story
Oriental
that is
Wrestling
building
State.
up is literally like we have a championship match, the first ever AEW champion with Hangman Page versus Pac.
I think that's gonna be like,
Like-
I think that's gonna be like the Intercontinental Champion, like their version of Intercontinental Champion. I think Kenny Omega is probably gonna be the first AEW champion.
Do you think AEW is gonna start off with their own belts?
Yeah.
Because they brought in the cruiserweight champion for AAA. They have yet to reveal any belt. And the only title holders in AEW right now is Pac from Rev Pro
and Sammy,
and
what was it?
Sammy
Sammy Guevara.
Yeah,
Guevara, yeah.
Yeah, AAA.
Cruiserweight champion.
Cruiserweight champion.
those are the only 2.
I think they're gonna have their own belts, or they're gonna build up to it. They're definitely gonna
Do you-
build.
I think
do you
I-
think we're gonna have
honestly, I think Double or Nothing should have been the fights for every AEW title.
I can see why you would say that, but also they're dripping. Remember, we didn't get the card to All In until
You know what?
maybe like a
Then
month
again,
before.
that makes sense because they haven't even announced the TV deal. So they're probably gonna have the TV deal, start the show, then lead those weeks into a pay-per-view.
That's why,
Again,
that's why it makes tomorrow so interesting when watching Being the Elite. You gotta pay attention to that.
Because if you think about it, on Being the Elite, they started plotting the card for All In. So maybe they're going to do the exact same thing
No,
for
they have
Double
been.
or
They
Nothing.
definitely have been. All the call-ups for AEW have debuted on Being the Elite.
That, and if you watch the Road to Double or Nothing, Cody's teasing his opponent. They came in last episode. I think it was it Billy Gunn that came in. He was like, "Yo, no." Some guy came in. and was like, "Yo, boop, called." He was like, Cody was like, "Yeah, I'll call him back. Don't worry about it." He was like, "Well, are you gonna wrestle him or what?" And then it just went close up. So,
Who knows?
Who knows
Out this 3?
who knows is gonna be? Maybe.
Well,
I
we'll
don't-
talk about that in our segment.
Maybe there's a lot of
There's a lot
interesting-
going on with that one.
We
There's
have
a lot.
This Week in Wrestling coming up after this discussion.
I
Yes.
feel like we're about to wrap this discussion up. I feel like Impact is going to really benefit from AEW,
We'll see.
and
I don't know.
My
I
reason
think
being,
opposite.
I think Impact's gonna benefit because you have to remember Omega. We're about to probably see Alpha Omega 2.5. You know the common denominator why that match really happened, right? Don Callis. You know what company Don Callis runs, right? That's
It's gonna be
that's hand in hand. We're probably gonna see Jimmy Havoc versus Sami Callihan. Impact's women's rosters, dope.
Alright,
Dope.
all right.
We're-
Quick prediction on what companies is gonna partner with AEW.
Impact and eventually New Japan Pro Wrestling because Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega are both can still wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling. And New Japan Pro Wrestling wants Kenny Omega. And if Kenny Omega wants them to work with AEW, it's probably gonna
he's
happen.
an executive vice president of
And Chris
AEW,
Jericho
so
got
it's
mad
like,
sway, so
I mean,
it's
I
probably
think
gonna happen.
if New Japan is gonna go that route, I think it's gonna be backwards to their own personal
They're
growth.
trying to get into America.
They're already in America.
But who did they get into
they
America
just
off the
had
back of?
they just had a San Francisco
Off the
show.
back of who though?
Omega, but they did it, and there's other stars that got over.
They did like Okada.
They just
was
did it.
over.
They just did the San Francisco show without Omega.
Lost economic, but oh
Yeah.
gosh, did you get a reviews of that though? That was not.
But let's
Granted,
let's
the
talk
visas,
about
the visas,
the visas, the
the
government
visas.
shutdown. A lot of that affected that.
So I have a quick question.
Mhm.
What belts do you think should come out of AEW? Like what? Like how you say the championship?
start
You
from the
thinking
top.
of is
AEW heavyweight champion.
Intercontinental?
It's gonna be the mid card.
It should be AEW Heavyweight Championship.
The Intercontinental.
They're gonna have it. Y2J is gonna need another Intercontinental Championship under his
I don't
belt.
think they're gonna call it the Intercontinental Championship.
I think they might.
Tag
I think it's gonna be like a version. Maybe they call it the TV
Tag
title or
team,
something like
6-man tag belt.
Women's champion.
At
Women's
Double or Nothing, though.
championship.
At Double or Nothing, I
Women's
think we'll see
tag
maybe
team.
like a tag.
Women's
like a
tag
team.
team. They we do need a
Are you
women's tag
asking
team.
about in general, or are you talking about at Double or Nothing?
In
Specifically
general.
at Double or Nothing.
In general, like
That's
leading
too
up
much
to
for
it.
Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Oh yeah, I mean leading in general, yeah.
What I do feel is
Hardcore.
they need
hardcore
to announce that
championship.
TV deal shortly before Double or Nothing, and then everything after Double or Nothing is on a televised program.
Well, maybe it gets announced at Double or Nothing.
Hopefully.
I think that's inevitable. I don't think that's an if. I think that's just a win. The TV stuff. And unfortunately, it'll probably get leaked. So, like, as much as I love hearing rumors, sometimes I want to be surprised. When they get their TV deal, I don't want to hear Uncle Meltzer report about it. I want to hear them come out and be like, yeah, we got, boom, we're on this time. Tuesday Night Dynamite is on such and such network. I would love to just hear, or on Being Elite, like, I would just love to hear it from them sometimes. Sometimes I don't like being spoiled and stuff. But, yeah, so we can keep rambling on about AEW because we know we can. Literally, we went 10 minutes over the, look at my skin dirty. We went 10 minutes over our time, but that's all right, though. So I think with that being said, we can keep talking. The Queen, Kayfabe AJ, Kayfabe Focus, Mr. Richie Moon, we bid you a farewell. Goodbye, mwah, and good night.
Kenny
Bang.
Home.
Kenny.
Kenny, take us home.
Bang.